Welcome to the Simply Joyful Podcast Live with my special guest, Amy Klien. Get ready to be encouraged. Well, welcome to the Simply Joyful Podcast Live, Amy. I am so thrilled to have you come and join me on this little experimental podcast turned YouTube channel.
Yeah, so excited to be here.
Oh, awesome. Well, before we jump into our conversation, can you share just with the audience a little bit about yourself and about, what you do?
Yeah, sure. So I am actually one of the co-founders, corporate sponsors for the Courageous brand, Give Her Courage. And my partner, Kelly Roach, and myself established this company as a mission and a goal to really instill courage and confidence in the girls of our future and build momentum to getting more women to support women. So we have the educational side, which we can talk about, is the Courage Academy for girls 8 to 14, where we're really taking and cultivating and providing essential skills to develop little lady leaders. And we also have the retail side too, as we like to say, it's a subscription to courage. So we have apparel and jewelry for that as well.
So cool. So cool. Well, yeah. Well, welcome to the world of, coronavirus. I feel like every day I'm like, people are like, what do I do? I'm having to homeschool my kids. What do I do? I'm having to work from home. I'm like, welcome. Come on into my crazy town.
This is your world. And I don't know how you did it, how you do it, being in it and trying to manage all moving parts, but
it's a lot of moving parts. I know it's a lot, but that's okay. We can do it. But yeah. I love that you're coming on to be able to, because at first we were going to do this like over on the podcast, but I'm so happy we can talk real time about what's actually happening. So how can you encourage parents who are listening in right now who, there's a lot of unknowns, some fear out there and things like that. So how can we be giving our kids tools to be courageous in this time?
Sure. Well, actually, we're doing a little series right now on our Instagram at Give Her Courage, and it's called Courage Over Coronavirus. And
I love it.
I think, and it's for all the frontline people out there, essential workers that need to be there. So we're feeding, healthcare providers, we're feeding grocery stores, we're feeding the police, anyone that has to be out there. And it's a great way to show your children in a time like this of uncertainty, how there's always good and there's always a way to help. And I know growing up, and I know a lot of people have had similar experiences with me, where when something, you get a lot from the news, right? And there's a lot that can really make you nervous and can make kids nervous, but you always have to look for the good people, because there's a lot of good people doing good things. And that's what I'm trying to show my children by example of all the good that can come out of this and the good that you can do in it. So I would say for parents, the one things that this is what we're doing over in the Courage Academy too, is a couple things. Number one is limiting the amount of news you're allowing in your home. Of course, follow the guidelines. We're all going to do everything to be socially responsible, but you can also spiral, right? So limiting that and creating just really positive mindfulness in your day with your children. And I like to call it intentional use of the time. So yes. I look at this as when we come out of this is what we're trying to teach the girls in the Courage Academy now. It's what you look back, when you look back at what you did at this time, what do you want to remember? Do you want to remember that you were distracted all day with what you're watching, what you're seeing? Or do you want to remember, that you intentionally used your time? For instance, the girls in our academy are working on vision boards. They created pen pals for each other. Yeah, we have girls that are working on the businesses that they wanted to start. They have time to do it and they're starting it. And you could have kids. My son is 6, and on his time and his break, he wants to be a builder. So he's doing things with Legos and he's practicing all these Lego. So it's being intentional with your time with your children to show them that despite what's going on around you and the chaos that's going on around you, you can actually control yourself and how you react to it, and actually do something to better yourself and better others. I think that's important. And successful people are going to, there's going to be ups and downs that we're going to have in life, but they take those downs and those times like this and they turn them into a positive.
I think so. It's so easy to just allow ourselves to kind of spiral down this road of, I got to stay up on the news, let's just put on shows. And, and it's not horrible to let your kids watch shows and do things, but there's so many constructive things that we can be doing right now to be encouraging our kids to be more proactive and to, we all want that time, right? We always
Yeah.
say if we only had more time, then,
And this is
we
what I
could do
think
that.
will be the good that comes out of it, right? It takes you back to the basic with your kids. You get more time with your kids. You get to see, I mean, you were doing this, but I get to see how my kids are learning now, right? Because they weren't learning in school. And it's a time where you can get ahead on, if you're intentional with your time, your extra time, you can get ahead on things. So I think it's important to teach be that role model for your child, because unfortunately they're going to have other, whether it's another pandemic or other things that are going to happen in their lives. And it's basically how they're going to react to it. And this is how we can teach them, I would say.
Oh, absolutely. Now you have is a school, you're saying, so like your academy, for the kids. So is that where just the kids are coming in and participating, or do you have something for the parents too, to be kind of helping the parents, come alongside with their kids as they're learning?
Yeah. So it's really amazing. So it's called the Courage Academy. It's for girls about 8 to 14. It's really the world's first online learning community for girls, but it's for moms too. So, what we do in the academy, our goal, both myself and Kelly, myself coming from corporate America, Kelly has her own coaching company. We, a long time ago, got together and we decided that there needed to be more mentorship for girls. There needed to be more, setting the elevator back down. There needed to be more ways to instill courage and confidence in girls at a younger age when they're most impressionable and they're facing things like social media bullying and positive body image and, how to be unique and stand out against all these peer pressures. So we thought the best way to do this our solution was to start this academy at a young age for these girls, because you're not going to learn this in school. Once you get to corporate America, I can promise you it's too late. They don't have courage and confidence departments, right? So really what we do every month is we have a celebrity in their age group who comes on. Actresses that they know from Nickelodeon shows, sports stars, humanitarians, entrepreneurs. We've had an entrepreneur who's 9 years old come on, and they get together with these girls. It's awesome. They get together in these lives and they talk about the topic of the month. I'm actually interviewing tonight Haley Smith. She's a big cheerleader and she's an influencer, and we're talking about how to ask for help when you're struggling.
Ooh, yeah.
And so it's great. Each month there's a topic, and the celebrity who's crushing it that they know, they're crushing their goals and their dreams, talks about it. But then also the girls get a chance to ask them, how did you get started? As an entrepreneur, what, do you get nervous before you perform? They get to all ask each other in these Zoom calls, and it's great for them to hear from the celebrity. Yeah. And then for mom, we have an expert that comes on that month, a psychologist, anybody that specializes in the topic, and she'll talk about how you can navigate the topic with your daughter, and she gives you practical advice on how to do that. And then they get a gift every month, and they're doing Zoom calls with each other. They're, like I just said, they started a pen pal, going back and forth with each other. And then we have a leadership certification. So they go through these modules, and each month myself, Kelly, and our director of education will come on and teach them things like how to save money, how to be savvy with money, entrepreneurship versus corporate executive jobs, just different topics each month that will really get them and provide them with the essential skills they need to be a leader in their own front, wherever that is for them.
I love that. What an amazing resource, because we need tools like
I know. Yeah.
Because it's hard.
Yeah.
No. Okay. So my natural question is, do you have anything for boys? Because I've got 3 boys and 2 girls.
Listen, I have a boy too. So it will be next. We, so if you follow us on Instagram, it's at Give Her Courage. And this came out of, really, to be honest, it came up for Kelly and I both being in leadership roles. It was me managing men and women and seeing the lack of women, the disparity between men and women, with women really just not promoting themselves and being less likely to go for, I just saw the disparity there between men. And Kelly and I just kept going back and forth, like, what is it? What is it? What is it? And another thing for me is I never really had any good women mentors in my corporate career. I only had men. For me, it always felt like, oh, if I try to go for that spot, she's already there. You know what I mean? It was never, let me help you.
Yes.
So it was, I don't know if it's a generational thing. I think it's getting a lot better now, but we naturally felt we needed to do something from girls at a young age. But we will be doing this for boys too. That's why we are the Courageous brand. Give Her Courage is a subset of that. And we plan to branch out for men, for boys as well. Yes.
Oh, I love it. Well, thank you so much for putting together something so unique for kids and for parents, because it's really important. It's hard. I think, as parents, we want to instill character quality in our kids, but sometimes, we don't know, like you can say, okay, I want to teach my kids courage. I want to teach my kids, entrepreneurship. I want to teach my kids this, but it's like, okay, now how?
Well, that's exactly it. That's what there isn't. You don't get that from school, and and it's kind of too late once they're in their career. So you're 100% right. Yep.
I love it. Well, where can people find all of this? So tell us where people can get involved.
So you can follow us on Instagram at Give Her Courage. You can go over to givehercourage.com. You can learn more about the Courage Academy. You can learn more about what we're doing, speaking engagements. We're starting Courageous Conversations podcast. We have a blog. Awesome. And then for moms, if you go over to Supermom's private group on Facebook, we are over there, and that's just a wonderful group. It's a supportive community of moms right now with daughters that, every month we have somebody on talking about a different topic that girls are going through at that age. So that's a great place to go to start to find us.
Oh, that's so fabulous. Well, thank you for taking time out of your schedule to come and chat and just offer advice and resources for parents right now, because this is a time when we need it. We need, resources.
Courage,
and I think that's what parents are noticing. I love it. Courage over Corona. Well, thank you so much, Amy, for taking time to come on today.
You got it. All right. Have a great day.
Thanks for joining us for this episode of the Simply Joyful Podcast. Be sure to check out all the episodes available by going to simplyjoyfulpodcast.com. Also, be sure to subscribe here on YouTube so you don't miss all of the other videos that we have coming your way. Have a great rest of your week, and don't forget to live simply and be joyful.